Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to yet another ITaX production brought to you right here on twitch.tv/ITaXSC2. My name is Rushy, and you are joining us for the Super Series 12 into the ITaX event, Solar versus Bunny. We're so excited to be able to bring this Super Series event to you here on Twitch. We're also very excited to have a partner in today's stream of Bunny Studios. So we've got some great things to talk about and share with them. We're so glad to be able to partner with them for today's cast. Good morning, Creighton. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad to see all of you here. If you do want to check out our sponsor for today, exclamation point Bunny in the chat. We'll get you set up for information regarding Bunny Studio and the different services that they provide. And we're going to talk a little bit about them throughout the course of this stream today. But we've got a good one set up for you. It's going to be a really high power, high octane ZvT. Of course, both Code S GSL talents will be squaring off today. And then at the conclusion of our Super Series, we are going to be doing a replay cast of one of our previous matches of Estrella versus a Laser. So we'll go from ZvT to ZvP. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun in regards with that. So we're just getting started. So if you're just joining us, good morning. It is just, we're just getting things going. So throw this link out to your Discords. Let your groups know. Let your clans know. Twitch.tv/ITaXSC2. We're going to get started with some awesome games. And it looks like we're going to start on Eternal Empire. Oh, every single time I watch Zerg versus Terran on Eternal Empire, is like my brain gets rolling. I got opinions, man. I've got things rolling through my brain. And we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. But also, please do consider checking out our Matcherino as well. Of course, we need your help to get all of these events funded. We've got some great sponsors in Bunny Studio. We've got some other great sponsors as well. But, you know, we need your help. So exclamation point Matcherino in the chat. Click that link. You can add in the code AXCOM137 Sushi 10-4, my friend. I'm just incast ready. So we will be good to go. But I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. It's an early one here for me. It's about 7 a.m. I've already had my cup of coffee and just buckling in for a great event here. I do need to add this image. I think I can do it here. I'm gonna nickname it that to keep it simple. Oh, I didn't even realize that it would work quite that well. That's actually wonderful. Look at that. Now, hey, 3, 2, 1. Snap of the fingers. That's slick. That's slick. Ladies and gentlemen, the power of OBS. The one time that we can make it work. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Again, we are just getting started. We're going to be hopping on in and going. Oh, Sun Lily giving me credit here. She's the real graphic designer. I just pretend. To do things. I'm the kind of person who will open up Microsoft Paint and just like sit there and doodle, and like after I draw a yellow ball and like some green M's on the ground, it's like, look, I drew a sky. And then, like, all the kindergartners at the school that I teach at are like, wow, Mr. Rushy, you're so good. And then they, like, go home and they, like, trash talk me. Like, I bet his sky picture didn't even make it on the fridge. Bet his mom wouldn't even put it up. But anyways. Oh, I got one more thing to say as well to that, but let's go ahead and kick this thing off. And Sushi, before you, I'll get this one too. Let's go ahead and get this kicked off and introduce our players. Spawning in the top right, it's our blue Zerg player playing for Cosmos Esports. Give it up for Solar. And spawning in the bottom left, a red Terran player playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Bunny. All right. I'm also the type of person where I would put, like you draw the human, right? And it's got, like, the super tiny head, and then a super long torso. The legs, like, jut right out of the pelvis. It's just, like, all sorts of... there's all sorts of not great things. So please never ask me to be your artist for anything at any point ever. And if you want me to create music for you, like, I'm all down for that. More than anything, I'd probably be better off, you know, setting up like a band. I can direct that. I'll admit that I haven't played as much in previous like years. It's been more directing bands than anything, but you know, I'm still capable. I can still lay down a mean bass line, and I can oompa my way through the best of them. Also, can we mention how today's stream is sponsored by Bunny Studio, and we have Bunny playing. Like, can we talk about the tactical genius of putting together this event? But can you play the counter melody to Anchors Away? Look, we could talk a lot about like counter melodies and counter harmonies, but the one piece that I will tell you from my college piano experience is that counterpoint is not my specialty. In fact, I was supposed to play for my jury a sonatina by Mozart, and it took me all semester to only learn half of it. And I practiced. Like, you could go, but Rushy, were you lazy and you didn't? No, I tried. I worked really hard on it, and it was awful. I just could not wrap my brain around it. And the weekend before my jury, my piano professor comes to me and goes, Rushy, this is not going to work. Like, I need you to pass this class. So we're going to have you play something different. And she hands me, I kid you not, In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg. And it is literally maybe one of the easiest piano pieces I have ever played in my life. And I still did okay. So, of course, all of my peers playing Mozart, Bach, Beethoven, and I walk out and I play the world's greatest fifth grade rendition of In the Hall of the Mountain King. But I should probably talk about the game because it is slightly interesting now. We have these Hellions that have wiggled their way inside of the natural of Solar. Now, a very good pull on those drones. He's only lost one drone so far, and he will be able to pick that off and mitigate a lot of the damage. So in all senses, I mean, Solar's done a pretty nice job, but he hasn't really shown his hand on any tech paths at this point. He's got no tech. He's got no lair. He's just rocking one gas and getting himself out. So more than likely running the rule of one here, where he's going to try and get up to 3 base economy before tossing down those extra gases. And it looks like he is going to start that transition point into gas at this exact moment. Now, Bunny behind it is going to invest in a few more of those Hellions. Again, Solar with some very good map awareness, being able to pull on that. Bunny has done a very interesting thing here. He has fully walled off back at his natural. What's he producing out of his base? He's got a Liberator. The Liberator will be spotted by the Overlord overhead. And this is not going to be too big of a committed push here at the 5-minute mark. He's just going to wind himself up for a stim timing. That stim already on the way. And now we are in a point where Solar should begin transitioning into a later game function. But once again, just dialing in those drones, those queens, and those lings. It's all you need, baby. It's all you need. Now we're going to start that transition. We've got 1-1 on the way as well for both players. Starting at about the same time. And honestly, Solar has done what he needs to be able to scout that this is not going to be super heavy pressure. So having that Overlord overhead makes it a lot easier to be able to just invest in those drones. Some really nice surrounds on these Hellions. Oh, that one Hellion's going to roast literally every single drone. Ah. If it would have had a buddy, whew, that would have been scary. But I think literally almost every single drone there got tagged. So Solar getting away a little bit lucky here. Only loses 3 of those drones. So Bunny's invested quite a lot into not a lot of return, which for Solar is outstanding. Now, Solar has done his due diligence to try and zone out the Liberator coverage. He's got plenty of queens in position. He's working out to his 4th, those creep queens continuing to work. Looks like Solar is a tiny bit supply blocked at this point, and it is going to be Mutiling Bane is the choice for Solar at this point. And Bunny's going to start getting to work here. He is automatically going to start with the split pressure here on Solar's side of the map. Keeping this interesting. I mean, more times than not, you'll see a lot of Terran players immediately start with the bulk unit count just to see what kind of damage they can get done at their opponent's like 3rd base or their 4th base. But Bunny right now wants to keep Solar on his toes. He knows that his opponent is rather good at the split micro, being able to be in multiple places on the map at one point. So now it comes down to what can he exploit from his Zerg opponent? What can he get his opponent to accidentally commit into? So a 3rd base already done. Bunny, I actually really like this. This is one of the downsides of taking that forward 4th base, is it is susceptible to that pressure on the top side. So not only do you have to have creep out in front of your base, out to the left of your base, but you have to have creep on the top side as well. And right now, that is proving to be a difficult task for Solar. Now, he does have enough army here to be able to push this away, and I think Bunny's going to sense that, especially since the pressure at the natural was already mitigated. That already being shut down is going to send him packing. And it is very possible. I mean, I'm going to glean the information that I can off of this. That is why a lot of Terran players don't try to do that split pressure on the beginning. Because imagine if he would have had the extra 8 Marines. Ooh, very good surround here. Bunny's going to have to pick up and leave. There are mines already down. Drilling Claws just about to finish up. Remember, folks, Drilling Claws does not have an impact on whether or not vision is taken care of. So Armory has already made these mines invisible. But the only thing that it adds to that is it speeds them up and drills them faster. Now we could have a conversation in of itself about that specific sentence that I just said. Maybe that's like that should be like a college slogan or something. But I digress. We're not going to wander down that point just yet. Yep, Creighton's on board. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Oh, so that was actually a full kill on that 5th base. So that's actually very, very good. Very, very good damage here. But it is going to be traded damage on both sides here as the Mutas are going to start working on the 4th base of Bunny. These Lings should be able to clean this up. Now, we've got a lot of action here. This Spire is under fire here. I'm a poet, and I didn't know it, but it's very hard to keep up with everything as both players just in multiple places on the map all at once. Now, the difficult part for Solar here is he just doesn't have anything to deal with these medevacs, so the medevacs will be able to pick up and leave, but he's committed long enough to this command center. Is he going to be able to pick it off? No, not quite, but he has taken down a good chunk of the workers. Of course, 13 have already fallen at this point, but Solar has lost so much on his side of the map as well. Now there's going to be another Baneling Nest on the way. The Baneling Nest was sniped off first by this drop, and now the Spire becomes a very, very deadly target. I don't think Solar can afford right now to lose access to that Spire, because if for some reason he trades out inefficiently, on these mutas, he's going to find himself on the receiving end of a push by Bunny, and he just doesn't have anything to deal with that. So it is entirely... Oh, spot that. Spot that. There we go. Yep, going to get on top of that. Those mines are going to mitigate a lot of this damage. Oh, ouch. That's not the kind of engagement you want to see as Solar, but he is going to pick off that drop, but he can't get tunnel visioned here. He's got to be paying attention to this. What does he have on this side? There are so few Banelings at this point. I think that is what Solar is largely missing here. Now, his Baneling Nest is done. It is going to be on the way. He's got 7 in production right now. Oh, okay, good catch on these Liberators here for Solar. Bunny continuing to put on amazing pressure here. He's doing a great job here in game number 1 of moving this down. And this is a best of 9, folks. I mean, this is going to be a long haul series. I can already tell that Solar and Bunny, I think, are ready to take this the distance. So now Hive just finishing up on the top side of the map. 3-3 on the way as well. Bunny just committing, further doubling down on his bio play, getting more of those medevacs, adding in more of those Marauders. The Marauder's going to be anticipating a tech switch into Ultras at some point. Oh, that poor drone. Oh. Was not on the receiving end of a Widow Mine, but instead a giant bio ball. Now, this is a much better Baneling count here out of Solar. He's going to be able to wrap around. He does not want to connect all of those Banelings onto Marauders, so he does have to quickly look at that army and go, okay, wait a minute, where do I need to go with this extra delicate payload? And he does manage to find the target he's looking for here. He's got a couple of units that have gone down. The mutas are going to pick up the drop on the top side, but this is a very, very good choke point here for Bunny. Solar having a very difficult time working past these Marauders. I mean, those Marauders are thick boys. Okay, finally enough Marines step forward here and feel the wrath of Solar's Banelings. But on the back side of this, oh, what? This would be an amazing pickoff here if Solar's mutas can get on top of these, but the repair's going to be way too strong. Now the mutas will be added into that as well. Bunny not trading very efficiently here. He's going to lose all of those workers, and he doesn't have anything to really deal with this. He could potentially lose his +3 upgrade. Oh, yes, he's going to sacrifice. I think that's a great call. He might lose a couple of mutas for that cost, but being able to deny +3 infantry is an outstanding place to be for Solar. Because that just effectively makes his, it just makes his ground army that much stronger. So more mutas on the way. We do have 3-3 for Solar on the way, and I think this is rather protected. I mean, more than anything, if Bunny drops in here, he's gonna go after the Spire lots faster than he's gonna go after those upgrades. So more than likely that will be set into place, and here come the Ultralisks. Now this is where we're gonna see Solar start to take form here, as he's already mitigated the damage that's gonna be coming out of those Marauders by limiting them to +2 for at least, I mean, we're talking like 3, 4, 5 more minutes. Oh, there is no turret here. That's actually just very lazy by Bunny. Not protecting this base. I mean, he's had this base attacked by mutas I don't know how many times at this point. So hopefully Bunny will respond and get on top of that. Sensor tower will get picked off. I think that's more great damage by Solar. Solar currently working off of a bank. I mean, look at this unit's loss tab. So many times, I mean, the Zerg player is usually down 4,000, 5,000 minerals, and that's okay, because you just throw away so much playing against Bio. But in this case, Solar actually ahead by a couple thousand. I think that is a very telling tale here. Hey, Bunny is going to push on forward here. He does get forward with those Marauders. Now, the Liberators are going to help hold down this choke point as well, but once again, there's not that many Banelings. Oh, there they come on the left-hand side here, but they're going to eat a mine and lose all of their effective value. Now, Solar can get away with that with his current implied advantage, but he can't afford too many of those poor trades. Oh, get on top of that. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, sorry. I just had to go back to the bit about in the Hall of the Mountain King. So 13 workers going down. Solar making Bunny pay on the backside of this. All of the collapsible rocks have come down. And with this Bioforce being shoved back, one Baneling to rule them all. One Baneling to splash them. A flock of mutas to guide them all. And in the GG, retract them. 28 workers have fallen. 58 total. I mean, once again, Solar just continuing to maintain that advantage here on his opponent. There's just not a lot that Bunny can do at this point. I don't know what I'm actually looking at here. I clicked in 3 places and I went, there's nothing here to look at. That +3 is now starting to finish. And if you have not realized the power of upgrades by this point, this should illustrate very clearly why taking out that engineering bay was so important for Solar to maintain his death grip over his opponent Bunny. People will scream Zergimba. People will scream Muta's OP. I will say Bunny GG. Solar taking game number 1. Well played. I have to say, I've never felt more inspired in this moment than by like the whimsical musings of Creighton, and then just all of a sudden, like it just, we're here, we're fully caffeinated, it's early, I'm well rested, let's go for it. So it's always good to have role models and people that push you to be greater. So thank you, Creighton. I do appreciate that a lot. Let's see if I can keep this going for all 9 games. That'll be the trick. That'll be the trick. Oh, love you too, buddy. Woo. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't let him see you sweat. I just caught a quick glimpse off of the... Dude, I just caught a quick glimpse off of my OBS feed. It's like, whoa, no, never mind. Don't do that. That's not a thing that we want to show off to the people. Yo, everybody, we do need to take an opportunity and to talk about how this is a sponsored stream. We are currently working with Bunny Studio today. Not an official one, Sushi. I'll let you know when the official ones happen. But ! Bunny in the chat will give you some great information. We're going to talk in depth a little bit more about what Bunny Studio can bring to your creative projects and maybe your next big professional project, and the different opportunities that they can provide for you. But for now, we are going to go into game number 2, which is going to be on Pillars of Gold. I actually rather like this map. I will admit, and I'll go out there on a limb and say that as a Master 3 Zerg, so maybe is like one of my worst win percentages, but I just like the whole concept of the map in general. I like the layout, and I think it's just fun. It's just fun. Wait a minute. I can play StarCraft just to have fun? What? No, that's not a thing. It's not a thing, Chad. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. It's our red Terran player playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Bunny. And spawning in the top right, it's our blue Zerg playing for Cosmos Esports. Give it up for Solar. Good topography. Yeah, I'd be willing to go for that. Of course, Teacher Creighton using today's vocabulary word in topography. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to like have the definition just ready to go, because you know I'm not an English teacher. But I do have Google. And topography is the arrangement of the natural and artificial physical features of an area. Yes, class, you do need to write this down. And it will be on the test next Friday. Good uppy and downies. So that would be that would be the answer that like the nerdy kid would write in class just to get a rise out of their teacher, right? And all of a sudden, I'm sitting on my couch Friday night, my glass of wine in hand, correcting papers, And I pull this one out. What is topography? It's good uppies and downies. And that might be the paper where it's just like you just kind of fold the test back in, you set the stack down, you top off the wine glass, and you go, I got time to grade tomorrow. I think that's happened to me more times than I care to admit. But of course, not about topography. More about like music theory. What is a semiquaver? It's the note that goes. And then I just have to sit there and contemplate. What is my life? How have we arrived here? How do we prevent this sort of disappointment in the future? Do we teach quavers? No. But I do teach music theory, where music theory, we do talk about the official terms. Wow. Creighton, it's good to know that you don't have any like super opinions on this one. I know you're kind of like a wishy-washy guy. You never really want to commit to any one ideal. I get that. Oh. Folks, if you have any like super opinions about music, I mean, I'm your guy. I mean, Creighton is too. But with my hoity-toity degree in music education, like we can go round. I'll have lots of fun having those conversations. Now, some of you might be wondering, Rashi, why don't you talk about the game that's happening? It's 4 minutes in. Well, I mean, you and I have been watching the screen. Do you want me to talk about the excitement of Bunny building 4 Hellions in the 4-minute mark for maybe his millionth game in a row? Or do we want to banter about the silliness of life outside of StarCraft? I know, life outside of StarCraft? Not possible. That's what I thought too. So we'll cease that nonsense, since it does seem like we are going to wind up here. Now, there's going to be a normal stim timing here. A couple more barracks going down on the backside. And it is going to be Solar kind of running a similar channel. He is going to get his double evolution chamber and start preparing for that. What probably is going to end up being that 1-1 melee upgrade once again. This is very squarely in the category of, if it ain't broke, why fix it? Well, it is going to be a little bit of suspense. I was going to say, just doing Carapace, and we have no idea what's coming here, but yeah, it's going to be another 1-1 melee upgrade. Now, Bunny is out to his 3rd base already. He hasn't quite populated it with workers, so he is very behind on the worker count against his Zerg opponent. But not really too major of an issue. He is going to start transferring here. Going to start his production along with more of his bio. But admittedly, he is going to jump out to some pretty strong production here. This is going to hit just a little bit later, but I think it is going to hit a little bit stronger. However, Solar is going to be ready. He's going to be ready for this. He's already getting out to his 4th base. Flight of the Valkyrie should be my next piece that I have to try and tackle here, as all of those overlords do go out. Now, this could be very unfortunate here. He is going to fly a lot of those overlords into the main path here, but look at that splitting. Immediately mitigating a lot of the damage that could have been done. Most Zerg players, they would have just lost 3 overlords for free. With Solar, none. He's not your typical Zerg. He hangs on to all of them. He splits very, very well and gets on top of the business that he needs to finish out here. Now, he is going to go into a different path here. No Mutiling Bane to start off this match. It is going to be Hydraling Bane. And what I love is that Bunny is not able to scout this just yet. He is going to see the natural. And he's going to see those upgrades. But that's it. He hasn't seen the Baneling Nest. He hasn't seen the Hydralisk Den. He has to wonder with the lack of roaches that he's seen, that more than likely he's probably not going to encounter any Roach Ravager play, which honestly, against Bunny's current strategies, would probably not be the greatest idea. But I don't know if he's going to see Hydraling Bane coming at this point. And I actually quite like that Hydraling Bane is starting to go back into the meta. Of course, about a year and a half ago, I mean, that was all anyone wanted to play, because it was just such a strong composition. And then we had some balance changes, and Hydras weren't as effective. Bunny scans into the main, still not seeing the tech he's looking for. So more than likely, he will know to scout at the third here next. But I do like that Hydraling Bane is starting to become a standard composition once again. I think that is pretty neat. So Bunny going to go for a big drop here into the main. Back behind this, he is just going to go into some normal production. But Solar's all over this. Oh my gosh. I mean, he could not be more all over it unless like the Zerglings could sprout wings and just fly. Like not even like Scourge. Just keep them like Zerglings. Melee flying units. Like, I'm ready. I think that concept would just be funny. So, second medevac is going to jump up into the main base. Bunny just trying to get on top of his opponent, but so far, nothing. No ability to connect, no ability to get any real damage done at this point. And honestly, I don't even think that there are that many Hydras into the mix. Okay, now we do have 9. So we do have at least a little bit. That one tank's just going to get a couple of free kills. Are the Lings locked out of this spot? That's actually a good question. I think that you are correct. I think that is zoned off. I don't know if Lings can get back in there. So, outside of Solar just kind of gently deflecting away his opponent's units. Oh, great Baneling connection. Outside of Solar just deflecting Bunny, I mean, there's not been a whole lot that's happened in this game. Not a whole lot of big engagements. Not a lot done on either side. I mean, if we look at the units lost tab, this is pretty tame for 10 minutes. Bunny already out to his 4th base. Solar picking up not only his 5th, but his 6th base as well. Adrenal Glands on the way, 3-3 on the way. Where's Bunny at on his upgrades? He's at 2-2. He hasn't started 3-3 just yet, which is, I mean, I hate to call it concerning, but I think 3-3 is just so important. I mean, we saw game number 1. We all saw it. Okay, now we are going to have a major army interaction here. These tanks are positioned rather well, but just like Obi-Wan, he's got the high ground. And we all know how that goes. We've all read the stories. We've heard the tales. So we'll be able to push that back, but Bunny actually in a bit of a better scenario here, supply-wise. I mean, he is up on that army supply. Bunny is trading a little bit more efficiently. This is more what we're used to seeing in terms of the units lost tab in a ZvT. Oh, Solar actually responding to this very, very late. He is going to lose that base. So now Bunny is playing a little bit more responsively. I think this is going to go more in his favor. Solar not able to live off of that bank, and now actually we see Bunny having the bank on this particular game. Now, Vipers are out onto the field. We are already into Hive Tech, so that Adrenal Gland's just about to finish up. We will have Ultralisk coming very, very soon. But this is yet another base under fire. And Bunny on the southeast side as well, going to continue rotating. This does get a good scout. The Overlord has spotted it. The Hydralisks not being as oppressive of a force as those Mutas were in game number 1. So Solar forced to keep most of his army back at home, and I think in game number 1, we saw a lot more of the counterattack potential that just isn't happening here on Pillars of Gold in game number 2. Oh, those are going to be dead creep queens, unfortunately. Solar losing lots of very important things. Now, this base that did get canceled, he's going to be able to start it up once again. But a Liberator is going to be dropping into the main to say hello to all of his friends. I mean, this is a much different scenario here. Oh, those Vipers going to get caught out here. Some very cute Blinding Cloud's going to actually save that Viper? Are you kidding me? Really? Well, this is very clever maneuvers by Solar. Being able to anchor that down. But losing a free Viper, especially with full energy, that is a lot of damage. Now here comes 3-3. We are going to see +1 ship weapons as well. Both of our players maxed out. They are starting to accumulate their own banks. And this is a very, very tough position for Solar to try and break. Now Bunny has the high ground. He is mitigating a lot of the damage. Look at the tank spreads. I actually like that maybe the most. Ooh, good Viper pull. Gonna pull that Liberator out of position. Now we finally start seeing some counterattack potential here. These Zerglings and Banelings are able to get a little bit of damage done on the opposite side of the map, losing lots of workers here. He's actually gonna clean up that planetary. 16 workers going down. That is what Solar has been lacking in this game thus far. So now that he's forced his opponent to take some economic damage, that is going to force Bunny into an attacking position here. Those tanks are going to immediately get jumped on top of. One tank left. It does get picked off, so now it is only Bio. But where are the Banelings? There are no Banelings over on this side, so that is going to be a rough spot. There is actually one tank remaining. That base is going to have to be pulled. And suddenly, Solar not trading as well once again. He's got to have those Banelings to be able to get on top of that Bio. Zerglings and Ultralisks alone will not get that done. And now we have Ghosts. Ghosts are in production. We've got 3 coming out at a time. We've got Personal Cloaking on the way. And we now are going to start seeing that late game army composition that ZvT is just so famous for. The Liberator count is starting to spook me just a little bit. I almost wonder if dropping the Spire for Corruptors alone would make a positive impact here. But it's going to use those Vipers to get on top of the Liberators. One base does get picked off. No workers at that base, so not a big economic disadvantage here for Bunny. Bunny going to be able to pick off a hatchery of his own as well. Most of the workers get pulled. And he's just going to be able to rotate down. I mean, yet another exposed base here. He is going to get a good surround. Are there any Hydras on the bottom side? No, not really. The Baneling count is much better, but Solar having a difficult time at deflecting Bunny on multiple fronts. Making this kind of a tricky trade. And I don't think the Ultras are getting the value that they need to get at this point. So I wonder if Solar is going to continue investing heavily into those expensive units, or if he's going to find a different way to utilize his gas. I don't know. I still see the value of grabbing those Thors, because look at the unit count here. There's no Thors. But I think I just said Solar getting Thors. It's Solar getting Corruptors. So there's no Thors on the map. If all of a sudden you just pop out with 10 Corruptors, you clean up half a dozen Liberators and Medivacs, suddenly, like, your opponent just goes, oops, I lose the game. But what do I know? It's not like Solar's in the top, like, 10 Zerg players of all time. Do I just look like a genius now? Am I actually possibly one of the greatest Zerg coaches of all time? We'll have to find out. But he is going to keep that Ultralisk count continuing, at least for now. This base will come under fire. Ooh, I love this. Actually getting the creep spread out to that base. So that is going to be a bigger issue for Bunny to try and clear. He's going to have to burn a couple of scans to get that set up and into place. And now it's going to be Solar continuing to go back and forth here. These ghosts actually caught out here, running low on energy, so they will not be able to hide themselves for very much longer. But some very good snipes will stop those ultras before they're able to kill off that planetary. Some good Zergling run-bys. He's committing a lot into those shots, but able to get on top of those ghosts. Now, these have a lot of energy. These would be great to pick off if he can get on top of them, but he needs that vision. And right now doesn't want to risk sacrificing that, but the base is going to go down as a result. I think that alone is a very, very good play. He's going to lose a lot. He's going to trade out a lot of the army, but he takes 12 workers along with it. And at this point, every scan is precious. Every mule is precious. And if he's going to start forcing his opponent into different plays, that's gonna split up his orbital energy and really puts Bunny in a tough position. Oh, I love this. If he just absolutely wins off of the back of this, big switch into Corruptors, I might feel like the smartest person in all of humankind. That's just me, though. Not to brag. But I am pretty excited. Okay, fair amount of Ling and Bane here. That will get that shut down. It's going to be, a bit of a push here on the left-hand side. The left-hand side's a little bit more defended, but now here come the Corruptors. The Corruptors are going to make this an interesting engagement. Immediately, we are going to see more of those Liberators coming out. Ship weapons are going to be going up to level 3. And for a brief moment, we saw a fusion core. Is it just because it finished? Yes. Yes, so the fusion core is on the way. We are probably going to see some battle cruisers, or at bare minimum, we're going to see the Liberator upgraded. Here comes advanced ballistics. I think that's the right call, because I think Bunny is calling Solar's bluff. A big engagement here is going to wrap around on the top side and the bottom side. The Banelings are able to crash on through. If they can get on top of those ghosts, that is going to be so much damage. But unfortunately, not able to connect with all of the pieces that they need to. Now there is a follow-up force here, trying to get on top of as many as possible. I think every ghost kill is very, very good here for Solar. And look at Bunny's supply. I mean, Solar has managed to keep that income so high in his advantage. The army size here, look at the difference, able to trade out so efficiently against his opponent, and suddenly we start seeing Bunny in a bit of a difficult position where Solar has been able to deny him these 2 bases so many times, unable to get anything sat down, and he's starting to look really, really just kind of green around the gills. He only has access to 1 full base. I mean, this is only a partial base of mining. Solar actually dropping down a hatchery over here, and he's got a Ling right here, so he's going to continue denying these bases for now, and it's only bio out of his opponent. And Bunny can't even afford to load into the medevacs. If he gets caught off guard by those Corruptors, it's over. Bunny has to GG out, and the last 20 minutes of fighting will all fade away in 30 seconds. So many Zerglings just going to pour on in here. The Baneling's going to be able to get back in here. Oh, if those Banelings can connect with the SCVs. Oh, if they can get there. Not quite. But he does force a pull off, and that is good damage on top of it. And the base does go down. Now, that is a planetary fortress, so that is a bit more difficult here. I think he's going to lose that gas. I think that gas is going to burn down. Oh, what a game here. What a game number 2. It may have been inefficient, but getting those bases is so valuable at this point, because now look at Bunny. Bunny is forced to long distance mine there. That's just going to hurt him over time, because he doesn't want to invest the money and the time into a different base. He could float out another orbital, but I don't think that that's going to be valuable for him. Well, are we going to call that medium distance mining? That's fair. I respect that. Here's exactly where those Corruptors come into play. Look at this. picking off those Liberators, picking off those Medevacs. 17 Medevacs have gone down, but the Liberators, 19. Those Corruptors easily paying for themselves. And Solar starves his opponent. GG is called. Game number 2 goes to Solar once again. Some very, very interactive, good games. And of course, we expect that out of both of these players. Neither of these players are deliberately aggressive. They aren't deliberately cheesy. We're just getting some straight up good macro games. Outstanding plays. Yo, everyone, thank you so much for following. We appreciate your patronage here. An amazing crowd. Very, very excited. We are going to get set up and get ready for game number 3. But first, I want to take an opportunity to shout out our main sponsor for today's stream in Bunny Studio. Of course, Bunny Studio providing a great opportunity for you to raise up the level of your next interactive project. Raise your bar, team up with the fastest and most reliable creative services partner you'll ever find. Submit your project and you'll get a quick and high quality project delivered to you within hours, from translations to transcriptions to video and so much more. Bunny Studio has what you need. Feel free to type !bunny in the chat to find their link and learn more about Bunny Studio. A little bit later on in the stream, I'm actually going to show you some of the great features that Bunny Studio has to offer you if you are looking for a little bit of help on your next creative project. So I know creative project might feel a little vague, but the wide variety of services that they offer is so intuitive and so expansive that it's the best way to describe without showing you exactly what they do. And we're going to be able to do that here in just a little bit of time. So hopefully you'll get a chance to check that out. And we definitely encourage you to see what they have to offer. So thank you so much, Bunny Studio, for helping sponsor this specific Into the Alpha X event. And we're going to go to Death Aura for map number 3. What I think is interesting is this basically allows Solar the chance to possibly flip on his opponent once again. It's a great meta map. So will Solar tech switch once again against his opponent? Or will Bunny come up with something interesting and maybe play a little bit more aggressively in map number 3? We'll have to find out. Oh, Rushy, great cast. Please do some with Creighton Olsen. Well, do I have some exciting news for you? Creighton and I have already done some work together on previous work. We team up with each other for the Archangel Files. Admittedly, we haven't had one in a while. It's been such a busy month in StarCraft, which is awesome. I think that is, like, it's a great problem, right? Like, oh, we have too many events going on. How do we schedule new events? How, like, Blizzard! No, it's a great thing. So, we actually do have our next person in line for the Archangel Files. It's just a large part of letting some of the awesomeness of the scene die down a little bit so we can schedule another amazing event. But I have a feeling that in the terms of in terms of being able to cast StarCraft 2 events, I think that my time will come. I mean, I have to tell you, like, I'm only like a B tier caster. Creighton's like premier tier, right? I mean, he's casted for GSL. He has his own Liquipedia page. Like, at that point, I just have to, like, I gotta pay my respects. So, but I think my time will come. I firmly believe. So, I imagine today is actually like my casting test, where he's sitting there, he's taking notes. He's going, okay, what are the pros and cons of Rushy? Rushy is a musician. I too am a musician. This is my Creighton impression, by the way. Sorry, I have too much hair for that. That's my apologies. He's a great musician. I too am a musician. Is he going to overshadow me? No, I don't think so. Because I bring such an analytical side to musicianship. And Rushy just likes to sing occasionally. let's go ahead and judge his opener here. Okay. All right. Spawning in the top right, the bottom right. He doesn't even know his directions. Get this guy out of here. Spawning in the bottom right. It's our blue Zerg playing for Cosmos Esports. Give it up for Solar. And spawning in the top left. Our red Terran playing for Kaizi Gaming. Give it up for Bunny. Oh, hey now. Hey now. You be nice. You be nice. I will calm everything and nothing all at once. No, I think our time will come. I think it'll be fun. Now, what are you up to here, Solar? So I think Solar was expecting the proxy here, which I think is interesting. I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of games where Bunny has actually gone into a proxy Rax. Maybe I'm not watching enough. But on Death Aura, I don't know if it's that effective. Because the map itself is not that big. It's not as easy to hide. It's very interesting. You expected that he throws his pants up into the air and he jumps into them? I think that's a TikTok trend, right? Maybe that's the next frontier for StarCraft 2 casters. I mean, I would love to see Fear Dragon blink into his pants. It sounded weird when I said it out loud. Like, I get the thing. Like you know what I'm talking about, right? Oh no, this is just gonna go poorly. You'd be happy if Funkas and you guys could run the Battle Chest team event. I think the people that we got for that are pretty awesome. But I appreciate the compliment. I think that's like a big compliment for me. So thank you. It means a lot. No, it's a fun, absolutely fun scene that we've got going right now for StarCraft 2. So many great events going on, so much love and support, and of course, all happening on the 10th anniversary of the game. I mean, for 10 years old, I mean, this game still has got some shine to it. Still looks pretty good. I don't know if that can be said about many games that came out in the early, we'll call them early 2000s. I mean, this was a release in what, 2010. So I'm going to talk early 2000s as like a generality. Now, Bunny is going into a bit of a different path here. Bunny is going to grab that command center very, very early. Starting that almost at what? I mean, almost before the 3-minute mark. That is going to be a bit of a different play here. Now, how does Solar start registering this? Well, he could just potentially run the Zergling up and see it. I was going to come up with like this great, like, okay, here are the things that he could look for. But he's just going to like, okay, there's a Zergling. All right, I have the Overlord too. We'll just scout that way. Easy. But notice that it comes at the cost of a lower amount of heli. So that's going to empower Solar to continue doing his normal thing and getting into it's a good economic stance more than anything. He's not going to have to add on a whole lot to deal with these Hellions. He's got to have something, though. His queens are a little bit out of position, but Bunny, not brave enough. Not brave enough to dive on forward. We have a battle cruiser. Excuse me. Did I look at the fusion core the whole time and not see it? I was so focused on the orbital command. Solar and I have something in common right now. Both of us were unaware of the battle cruiser opener. So, the one piece that is interesting, though, is he did get a scout in and saw that the starport was tech labbed, but not producing any tech. Not even faking the Banshee cloak. So, this changes things. I think he is suspicious, though. Spore Crawler's down in all 3 mineral lines. What does he have for queen count? Queen count is at 6. 6 is okay. He doesn't have any more queens in production right now, though. So that could make this defense a little bit challenging here. Bunny is going to get on top of this, though. And immediately throws away 4 of his Hellions. That's an interesting choice. Not quite the choice I would have gone for, but, you know, to each their own. And now we see the defense begin here. This is where I think Solar is going to struggle just a little bit. His queen count is just so painfully low at this point. He's only got 4 queens that are able to fight. He is going to push this off, sure. But it's going to cost him some mining time. It's going to cost him 4 drones. And the Lings moving out across the map, not going to be as effective as he was hoping for. The 3rd base is already going to be locked down and in position. It's really... I guess the Hellions did a nice job of pushing that back because there's really nothing back on the defense there for Bunny. So Bunny's getting a really nice read right here. Now that battlecruiser is going to get very, very low. He's got to be careful he doesn't overextend with that. The second battlecruiser just about to finish up here. Bunny in a pretty nice position. Now the tanks have shown up. That is going to provide the defense that he needs. Let's see if Bunny blinks this over. I think he's just going to fly it, right? He's just going to fly that across. No big deal. The Spire is up at this point. So we are going to see more than likely Corruptors. Oh, could be Mutas. So Mutas will have some good versatility. And at this point, not a bad place for Solar. The Mutas are going to give him more advantages down the road. And Bunny is not committing into a third... He's not committing into a third battlecruiser. Hellion's going to be able to get in here and take out 8 of those workers. So Bunny is getting some nice damage done to Solar's economy. This is a scary number here, 73 to 64. As a Zerg player, you never want to be behind on the worker count to Terran. So if we look at that income advantage, look at all of the red. Look at the advantage right now for Bunny. That is a great place for Bunny to play from. The 4th base just now getting into the spot. And actually, Bunny's going to match him. So this is starting to prove to be a bit of a scary position to play from for Solar. He's going to have to get a lot of work done with these Mutas, and he's off to a good start already. The battlecruisers will be able to zone these. He does not want to try and exchange Mutas for battlecruiser damage. That's not going to be the value that he's looking for at this point. He's going to have to find a different way to get on top of the economic threshold of his opponent. Now, Solar is able to wrestle it back for a brief amount of time, but every single mule wave, Bunny is going to pull that back. And now that he's got his 4th base already on the ground, that's going to make it even more difficult. Some great mine shots coat that Mutalisk army. That's going to have to back off for now. And 2 turrets will make that very difficult to deal with. And it's going to be a hard shift into Battle Mech. I like it. Bunny not in a supply lead, but I think right now he's in an okay tech position. But the Muta count is starting to get scary. Solar continues to add Mutas on. He is going to get on top of the battle cruisers here. Now, the one thing that does work in Solar's favor is that the battle cruisers in general just don't trade out as effectively against the Mutas. But depending on the micro, the Cyclones could potentially. It's going to come down to those mines, ultimately. Ooh, going to get a pick off onto this engineering bay. The engineering bay not providing a whole lot right now. It does provide access to turrets, but right now he's not in need of more new turrets. But he will have to replace that engineering bay. He's going to build that on the backside of the base so that way he doesn't have to worry about throwing that away. Now there are Thors out onto the field. Oh, a couple of bases on the verge of being completed. One actually forced into being canceled. A big Baneling run by here at the 4th base is going to connect with a little bit. Doesn't find what it's looking for. But this is a really poor engagement here by Solar here. He's losing so many of those Mutas, damaging a whole bunch more else. And suddenly, Bunny with a good engagement is making that difficult here. More mutas, more lings. Only has 1/1. Sacrificing the upgrades at this point. I don't know if he missed them or if just didn't have the space to put them in. But not being able to trade very efficiently against his opponent. Oof. Those banelings getting tossed to mines. The remainder. Oh, Bio just falling left and right. 3 mines obliterating almost 30 supply of Solar just in a heartbeat. That's tough. That is difficult to deal with. And now suddenly, Bunny's in a good position where his army is going to be fundamentally better than his opponent's. Bunny has a bank as well. Oh, those battle cruisers still have to be careful here. Those mutas are in large enough supply that they will be able to take that down, and I think one of those is going to fall. But the real scary damage is coming here at this base on the 3 o'clock position. Now, this is a good Ling Baneling count, and there are no Hellbats here, but the Banelings just tossed themselves into 1 Thor. I don't think that's what he was paying attention to. Yeah, he was working on the mutas here. He does manage to pick up 14 workers, but he loses all of the attack power of the defense here, and now there are Hellbats. Hellbats will be able to deflect more of what's happening. So they're going to trade bases here. Bunny does lose out on more of the workers, but look at the units lost tab. That gets to be an interesting scenario. Solar in a rough place here, losing his own workers now. He is trying to trade. He does clean up this army, but does find himself now significantly down on that army count. It's more Thors, it's more Liberators, it's more Hellions in production. 7 more mutas on the way as well. Continuing that Mutaling Bane. But I think it's going to become increasingly difficult to be able to hold this base down, especially since this base is planted once again. Hellions able to get into the bottom side of this. Getting a really nice position on these Zerglings. Blue Flame is just going to roast so much of it. He's going to have to be forced to use those Banelings to clean that up, and that is not a great exchange for just a few Hellions running into a base. 4 workers killed. He does mitigate that damage, but Bunny is just securing himself in this game number 3. He is not going to let his opponent run the gamut here. He wants to secure his own win in game number 3. Put himself on the board. Those Thors making it very, very difficult though. The muta count thinned so much. How many mutas has he lost in this game? 47! It's almost 5,000 of each resource. That is a lot. I don't know. I don't know if I need to explain that, but that's a lot. Now Bunny's gonna do the slow push here. This is kind of a last-ditch effort for Solar. He gets those Banelings in, tries to connect as much as possible, but it's too much. GG is called, and we have ourselves a series. This observing sad face. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, I don't have the world's best computer, so there is a little bit of stutter. So if that's what you're talking about, unfortunately, I don't have $3,000 to drop on that, but I'm doing my best. Big thumbs up. All right, we got ourselves a series. Bunny claws one back from the brink here and might give himself a little bit of that momentum as we move into game number 4 of the Into the Alpha X Super Series here. Yeah, losing so many of those mutas does just make it so very difficult for him to try and play back from such an expensive unit, and you really need to get something accomplished with them to justify the payment. So we're gonna get into game number 4 here. It's gonna be on Everdream. So this should be a good place to play from. Of course, folks, just like normal, we have a Matcherino, !Matcherino in the chat. Click on that link, help us out, please. We need your help to get all of our prize pools completely filled out. Matcherino being amazing people and helping contribute, but we need you to use those codes. This is a great opportunity as we get into game number 4. So I'm gonna be the hero that that the world needs, and I will go ahead and type in Matcherino. Click that link, use the code AXCOM137 to add 50 cents to the prize pool, absolutely free. Didn't cost you a dime. Doesn't even cost you 50 cents. 50 cents is just, boom. It's like 2 quarters, bang, just immediately appear into the pockets of these players at the end of the series. Help me, please. Oh, there we go. Keyboard and like words and stuff was hard. So, ooh, but we gotta get in here. I think this is about to get interesting. Spawner in the bottom left. It's our blue Zerg player up 2-1 in the series, playing for Cosmos Esports. Give it up for Solar. And spawning in the top right and in the left. It's our red Terran player playing for Kaizi Gaming. Give it up for Bunny. Okay. So, Bunny's getting a little cheeky here. And Solar scouting it is just gonna shut it down. No way. So I mean, that just puts Bunny so far behind. He's now super late starting the barracks all the way back here. He's lost, like, how much does he lose off of that? Almost 75? I mean, that feels like a lot. But it's way better than Bunny committing and just throwing away the opportunity. I think that was a very good scout for Solar. I mean, he scouted for it in game number 3, kind of wondering, all right, when is my opponent going to go into that? But instead, he is just going to go Rax expand. The barracks is going to be a little bit late. Ultimately, this should be saved by Bunny. I think that is good decision making. You consider the losses that you have. Sometimes in chess, you have to throw away a pawn to save your bishop. And I think that's exactly what Bunny's doing in this situation. He's throwing away the pawn, saying, all right, you can have that unit. I made a mistake, but I need to stay in the game. So, should be a good place to play from. But now it is going to be Solar actually going not only into the rule of 1, but he's pulling off of gas almost entirely. So heavy drones, but he knows there's no pressure on the way. He knows that he found both of those barracks. More than likely, everything went back home. Not even going to grab. Okay, he does grab a Reaper. It just was. A little bit quicker than I expected it, which is funny because it's so late. But able to grab his third base, Solar in a very comfortable position. He's just going to be able to drone up like a madman, getting those queens, getting those upgrades. Creedy's bracket is not helpful just because this is a best-of-9 show match between Bunny and Solar. So your bracket, I'll explain it to you. It's an already grand finals, best-of-9, Bunny versus Solar. Done. Don't even need the challenge page. Immediately following this event, we are going to be doing a replay cast of Estrella and a Laser, which should be another amazing series. Really hope that you stick around for that. This is just Bunny just keeps going from bad to worse. I feel like getting the proxy scouted almost immediately was unfortunate. Losing the Reaper to Queens, also unfortunate. Bunny just cannot catch a break right now. But he is going to grab that third base rather quickly. So if Solar doesn't, Solar doesn't punish him, what can he do? That queen jumped in the air while injecting. Yeah, this queen actually has the DNA of Michael Jordan. So in that specific moment, there's like a 1% chance that the inject it's just a slam dunk into the top of the hatchery. That's kind of interesting. Isn't it crazy what they put into the game? Yeah, and immediately like I can't play it because it'd be copyright infringement. But actually, right now for Solar, he's just getting the full version of "Welcome to the Jam" from the hit 1990s movie Space Jam. Honestly, the long arms gave it away. Yeah. Yeah, these queens actually, in their spare time, have their own women's basketball team. It's fascinating. Definitely worth checking out. All right. So we have when behind Dark Shrine for Protoss. But how do we make that work for Fusion Core? Not sure. We'll have to figure that one out. But these Hellions should be pushed off. There is no vision for the Banshee Cloak. We did see that coming in. Those queens are going to have to be careful. Two of those queens actually a little bit low, but some very good micro gets those back and safe. And Lings alone, I think, were able to pick off all of those Banshees. It's amazing. Don't want to be a loser? Battle Cruiser. I love it. Going ahead and getting that Fusion Core. And this is actually just going to kind of turn into a Hellbat timing. This could actually hit kind of funny. I don't know that Solar has a whole lot to effectively deal with this. He does have queens, but the queens are currently trying to work on those Banshees. And now this is kind of an awkward situation here for Solar. I don't think he was expecting this to come here. Bunny kind of getting on top of this in a good way here. Now he's going to try and get us around with these Zerglings, but again, those Zerglings will not last very long against those Hellbats. So instead, Zergling's just going to run across the map. This is a completely open worker line right now. There are Hellbats morphing in, but for the most part now, Solar has been able to push this back, clears up all of the Hellbats, is able to continue putting pressure around the map. I love this. This is very, very good. Mark, I'm gonna pocket that in the back of my brain. Don't want to be a loser? Battle Cruiser. I think that will forever go into my casting arsenal here. Oh, one Baneling, yes! Connects with so much of that, getting 16 of those workers. So that entire mineral line does get cleaned up. One Baneling. Now, mutas are already on the field. This is going to be rather cleaned up. Again, Bunny just not able to get a foothold here in game number 4. And because this was left in, I think this dies. Yeah, these mutas are going to clean this up. That is more outstanding damage. Now there are mutas in full production. Behind this, what is Solar trying to go into? I think he's trying to get into Battle Mech once again because he is pumping out Cyclones, grabbing that mag field accelerator as well. But, I mean, this is a telling tale. He's down 6,000 resources at this point, although killing a couple mutas did help. But the income graph is going to be an interesting story, and it actually tells a better tale than I probably would have expected for Bunny. No, the BC at this point was not very valuable. Did not get any of the damage done that it needed to. Picked off maybe a couple of drones, but that's not worth the enormous cost. And look at this. Solar going to use a favorite right now on the ladder, a Muta into Roach Ravager switch here, grabbing the +1 missile. Actually, also grabbing +1 Carapace, or not Carapace, but melee. Are we playing a ZvT? Not yet, I'm sure. Oof. It's very good damage on those workers. That's gonna put some pain down. 8 more workers killed. How many kills total so far? 25. 25 worker kills by the 9-minute mark. Outstanding. So there are going to be roaches and ravagers added into this mix. And I mean, this is just going to be a potpourri army by Solar. He's got lings. He's got banes. He's got roaches. He's got ravagers. He's got mutas. He's got everything. Come down to Solar Zerg Unidiporium. We've got one of everything. Until he doesn't. And then we're sold out forever. But, you know, that's fine. It doesn't really fit in the commercial. So a good scan of Solar's Unidiporium is going to give Bunny a quick look at all the options that he has to lose to in this game number 4. Okay, Baneling's not going to trade as effectively here. And those Baneling's going to go in for more hurt, more pain. And now Bunny is considering all of his options. You know, I really do like the Banelings, but the Roaches and Ravagers are just so nice. And then Corruptors as well as Mutalisk. There's so many choices. How can I even choose? GG is called. Solar takes game number 4. Very, very well played. Alrighty. Okay, folks, we are going to take just a brief break here because, of course, our stream today is brought to you by Bunny Studio. Now, Bunny Studio, not associated with our player Bunny, as far as I know. Cool that we got Bunny for this event, though, right? Bunny Studio, outstanding people, bringing forth great creative minds to the world, just of the world. I don't know where I was going to try and go with that. But folks, I want to talk to you a little bit about what Bunny Studio has to offer. So, going to take a brief opportunity here to show you Bunny Studio in its slight entirety here. So, if you want, !Bunny in the chat. We'll give you some of the information here. But I do encourage you to check out bunnystudio.com. Of course, Bunny Studio is a great community resource to help you with creative projects across the board. They have a lot of different ways that they can help you up your game on your next creative project, whether it be through inquiring about voiceovers, audio and podcast productions, written content if you are looking for someone to help you with maybe creating an advertisement or a blog post or a review. They have design that can help you work out your next graphic design situation, translations if you speak one language but you need to present or create content in a different language. Translation options are available, video, transcriptions, dubbing, all sorts of great opportunities. Guys, getting involved with Bunny Studio is so simple. You can find the different content that you are looking for and click forward. So like for me, I've been creating ads for ITaX, and sometimes, I mean, we do play for different audiences. Like I know for the ITaX Junior Championships, we have a French cast. And of course, all of my ads are in English. But what if I wanted to make an ad for our French audience? It's so easy to be able to commit into a project. Let's say I want to do English to French, because I speak primarily English. We're going to go to submit a project here and jump on in and take a look at all of the different pieces. So here are some of the things that I really, really like about Bunny Studios. First off, I love the price transparency. A lot of times you'll find partners or products where it's not necessarily clear. They hold off on showing you the price until the very end. But Bunny Studio does a nice job of showing you what the potential pricing looks like. And as you go through and actually put together your project, they start to calculate up for you in real time. Here's about what this project will cost you to help you keep in line with your project, because we know everybody has a different setting and a different budget to meet. So let's say I want to take my my video here, and I actually have the script for it. So what you can do is you can put in the original text here, which is English. My target language would be French for the ITaX. This would be for Miguel. Miguel would love this, and he could have Rushy doing an ad in native French. It would probably sound awful, but you know, it would be there. So I'll take all of this, I'll take all of my script and I'll drop it in there. And you can see immediately as that script is going, all of the words for translations are calculated into the price. So right now, I can immediately see a $19 project with a quick turnaround time, and I can download that quote as well. So what do I need to translate? There's my translations. It asks you to be very specific because, of course, you're going to be working with professionals that want to do the job well and they want to do the job right. So they're going to ask for any words that don't need to be translated. So obviously, I don't need to translate my name. I don't need to translate StarCraft 2. I don't need to translate, this happens to be like my Cremo ad. So we don't need to translate Cremo, Alpha X. And you can see that as I add to this list, everything is starting to update in real time on the right-hand side. I love that. I love the transparency. That makes it so much easier. Glossary, if you wanted to be absolutely specific, let's say they didn't know what antiperspirant was. Maybe it was unclear. I could go in here and define antiperspirant, but to save on time, I won't go through that whole process, but it's another way for you to get the crispest translation. We all know how Google Translate sometimes makes it sound really funny. In this case, they want to do a great job of making sure that all of your translations sound as natural as possible. If for some reason you had audio or video, I could actually just add that in. It does cost a little bit extra, but again, look at how it updates that price almost right away. If there are any remarks, you can put that in here. Once again, just providing specific context to your project, so that way you can get the best possible project. And of course, down here at the bottom, we will put in a project name, and then we can proceed to checkout. Not only do I really like the easy transparency, but it does have a pretty quick turnaround. So they do, most of their stuff is usually within a day. If they do have a heavy workload, they do tell you that if it's going to be a little bit longer, but this project would require 2 days worth of turnaround. Unlimited revisions are included, and you've got that 100% satisfaction guarantee. You're actually set to a specific team that works with you. So I actually do need to put in a remark here. This is an ad for a Twitch-based organization, so that can help them give you the best product possible. They want to make sure that everything is detail-oriented, and then you jump on in, and you can pay them directly, and your project begins. So you can find all of that information, folks, at bunnystudio.com. Really do encourage you to check them out. They are some awesome people that want to see you elevate your next creative project. And we're so grateful that they are willing to help sponsor this stream. So thank you so much to Bunny Studio for all that they are doing to help support Alpha X and StarCraft 2. And please do give them a look. We encourage you to check out bunnystudio.com and see if maybe something for you would be perfect for your next project. So thank you so much for doing that. And we are set and ready to go for game number 5. We're going to be jumping onto Submarine for our next game. Thank you, everyone, for hanging around and checking out our ad there. Of course, I know there's divided people among the scene, but I think sponsorships are important, and we try to do our best to work with people that provide great products. Thank you so much for your time, and we're going to get back to what you came here for. Spawning in the top left, our blue Zerg player, up 3-1 in the series. For Cosmos Esports, give it up for Solar. Spawning in the bottom right, it's our red Terran player. Play for Kaizi Gaming, give it up for Bunny. Alrighty. Oh. Exclamation point, cute bunny pics. I wish that took us out to like a Google search. That would be just delightful. But here we are in game number 5. It is on Submarine. Submarine, another very small, short map. Bunny not going to make the same error that he made in game number 4 of trying to proxy. I think his opponent is going to be way too wise to that kind of play style. So we are going back to a normal standard play. Now the question will come down. What kind of play style is Bunny going to go into here in game number 5? He's shown us Battlecruiser a couple of times here. Of course, I think game number 4 was simply just because his proxy failed, so he wanted to get into something that would potentially have some committed damage. But with this being such a short map, Battlecruisers aren't bad, but I think just like normal bio, I think would still be very, very effective in this particular matchup. Hey, we are going to have to keep an eye on this because it is going to be another quick command center, actually going down at the 2-minute 40-second mark. Now, last time I saw that, I caught the command center, but I did not catch the fusion core. So we're going to keep an eye on that production tab. It's roaches for Solar. Solar, so many builds today. I absolutely love this. Reaper getting caught out once again. I mean, Bunny has just got to be frustrated. He's just got to be frustrated. He's not getting the damage done that he needs to. Losing a lot of those Reapers. This is going to be very, very quick aggression here. If Bunny is committing into fusion core once again, this might actually just knock him down. Because he's going to just march across the map with, what, 6, 7 roaches? Oh. Bunny's got to be careful. He's got to start sniffing this out. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. Okay, a Banshee. Okay, this is much better position. What is he? Oh, yep, and he knows perfectly this is the right scenario. He's got to get some Marines on the production tab. A Banshee is the absolute perfect call. That is going to be the unit he needs. But how much damage can Solar get done before that point? I think these SCVs are going to need to be pulled. I don't know if he can afford to lose all of this this mining, but he can't afford to lose those workers. And now the SCVs have been pulled. A good situation there. Banshee just a little over halfway done. Hellions are not going to be enough to deal with this effectively. The wall is going to come tumbling down, and now he is going to sacrifice those workers. He needs to try and mitigate the damage here. The Banshee is going to be allowed to complete. And with that, that will shut down this production. Or this push, excuse me. But 6 workers. 7. Should be the end. 7 workers? I think that's good for Solar. Solar in a good position now. He's out to his 3rd base. His opponent does have a 3rd. He will have that increased SCV production. Solar did not need to kill here. It puts Bunny way far back on his production because now he has to invest so much money into that SCV production. What a good place for Solar to come in at. Now, is that Banshee going to go across the map? It will. There's no cloak. So the Banshee won't be able to just reign supreme over top. Queens will be able to push this off and away. And Solar should start recognizing that, like, huh, you're not cloaking on me right now. You don't have it. And it is going to be into normal bio. And I think that's fine here on Submarine. He's going to be able to get a good amount of damage done. Oh, whoa, great transfuse here. Saving that Overlord. And he does leave 1 queen back behind. to protect the drone line. But 4 kills have gone down on workers. So trying to gain back a little bit of the advantage that Solar gained in that push. Yeah, both of these players playing very, very well. Like, don't misinterpret Bunny's score in this series as a testament to the way that he's playing. I mean, Game 4 was not like his best play, but it was. You have to give Solar credit for scouting the proxy and forcing Bunny into a position that he wasn't planning on going into. But like our first 2 games, both 20-minute games, players playing back and forth, knocking each other down. I mean, both of these players are playing out of their minds, which is wonderful for these best of 9 show matches. It gets it very exciting and a lot of great games for us to watch. It's a great time to be a StarCraft 2 fan. Now the Spire is now finished here. It is going to be Muta's, more Mutaling Bane. Solar finding a lot of success against Bunny in today's matchup. So he's going to go back to the well and dip his ladle just a little bit deeper into Mutaling Bane. Come up with a bunch of clear, crisp water to drink from. Speaking of, make sure to hydrate, folks. It's a hot one out there. All right, so the 4th base is going to come under fire here. Bane speed already done. Centrifugal hooks being added into the mix, but will he have enough Banelings? Oh, I loved the Hellions off to the right-hand side, just unable to get done what they needed to. But now these medevacs are going to be in very, very clear danger here. Their boost being finished and used early. All of those medevacs are going to get cleaned up. It is going to come at the cost of a few of those Mutalisks. Only 1. That's actually great damage. Solar just squeezing Bunny for all he's got here. So he's going to clean up all of those Mutalisks. The mine's going to get picked off. The 4th base is going to be delayed. These Lings are just going to rush on in. And now suddenly the workers have to get pulled to fight once again. This is just insane damage. Solar, I don't even know if Solar expected to get this much done. 16 workers has gone down. Yeah, he's just going to jump on top. Solar's like, I don't need to pick this off. I just need to end the game. GG is called. And Solar sitting on match point. This is starting to look a little rough around the edges here. Solar playing a very, very strong game as he positions himself over his Terran opponent. I think this next map is going to be a very important piece for Bunny. He needs to find a map where he can be successful, and he's gonna go to Golden Wall. So, big map, lots of opportunities, lots of room for weird play. We're gonna have to see what he decides to come up with. Folks, you guys are watching the Into the Alpha X Super Series number 12, Solar versus Bunny. This stream brought to you and sponsored by Bunny Studio. Raise your bar. Team up with the fastest and most reliable creative services partner you'll ever find. Submit your project and you'll get a quick and high quality project delivered within hours. Check out !Bunny in the chat for more information, and please consider checking out bunnystudio.com to up your game in your next creative project. So thank you so much to Bunny Studio for helping sponsor today's stream. Of course, if for some reason this is our last map of the Super Series, don't run away that quickly. We are going to be also casting Estrella versus Elazer. This is going to be a replay cast, but I've heard great things about that series. I think it should be a great one for you to stick around for. So we really do encourage you to stick around and support. But also, please check Matcherino. ! Matcherino in the chat. We love utilizing Matcherino. They are so great at helping us provide awesome prize pools for our players, but we need your help. AXCOM 138, I believe. 137, excuse me. AXCOM 137 is the code to use for you to help contribute your free 50 cents to the prize pool. Please, everyone take an opportunity to do that. If everyone in Twitch chat right now clicks this link and takes 30 seconds, that's all it takes, 30, we'll have that prize pool taken care of. So thank you so much for giving that some thought. We really do appreciate it. And this is potentially match point. Spawning in the bottom left, our blue Zerg player playing for Cosmos Esports on match point in this best of 9 series. Give it up for Solar. And spawning in the bottom right. Needs to win 4 games in a row if he wants to come out as today's Super Series champion. A tall order. But can he do it? Playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Bunny. Yeah, very, very important, folks. Please do check out that Matcherino. Again, like, we all know these openings take a little while to get warmed up. So what a great opportunity to click that link, drop that code, help save esports one code at a time. It means so much to us if you do. So please, thank you so much for considering that. Of course, we've got some great sponsors in Titan EX1 and G Fuel as well. Lots of amazing companies and sponsors and organizations helping provide quality StarCraft 2 content in 2020. Thank you so much to everyone. It truly does take a village. And of course, my name is Rushy, your happy-go-lucky caster, escorting you through Xeris and beyond, from Ire all the way to Earth. So I thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are enjoying the cast. Feel free. I love getting some feedback. If you've got any feedback for me, certainly love upping my game and becoming a better StarCraft 2 caster. I love StarCraft. So of course, I always want to do my best. Now, Bunny might be a little bit confused here. I mean, he is scouting up on the top right corner, but maybe he just doesn't realize that his opponent actually spawns in the bottom left. Unsure. No, I think Bunny was trying to look for maybe like a proxy hatch. I mean, that would seem weird. That's a little out of character. That's a little out of character for Solar. Now that's a better scout, checking the gold base expansion. I'm surprised he didn't go there straight first, but Solar opting to go into just a normal standard timing. He is, oh, he almost grabs that that drone. Oh, thank you, Creighton. Very, very kind words. Appreciate that a lot. Oh, I don't know if we've gone. Have we had a game where Bunny doesn't lose the Reaper today? This is a. Ooh, it's a tough. It's tough. Bunny once again going for that very early command center. And it looks as if he is going to just go back to the same old standard play here. He's going to grab that third command center. It looks like he's grabbing a Viking to help with the scouting. And yeah, it's going to be just a pretty standard, normal opening play here. So, where do we go from here? Bunny's going to confirm that the third base is in fact on site. Nothing too scary happening at this point. Thank you, everybody, for all the follows. We do appreciate that a lot. AlphaX provides a lot of great content, and I mean, we have like multiple events every day. So excited to be a part of so many great things. So thank you so much. Oh, I'm actually didn't have the Streamlabs up on in-game. That's my bad. There you go. You got your moment in the sun. You got to see your name. Love it. More drones. More drones, more problems here for Solar, as he is just in a great position. Bunny able to move out, and it looks like he's gonna go take the gold. Now, I've seen this. This has actually been interesting. So Bunny is going to take the normal gold. Oh, we better look at this here really quick. Six Helen's going to dive on in. All of the Zerglings are gone, so these drones are going to immediately have to be pulled. This is going to be so much economic damage. Oh, no, they're all lined up. Oh, it's a barbecue. All right, get out your apron. Bring out your towels to sit on. Call Dad. He needs a beer while he's grilling. 14 drones. Ah. Now, that is the damage that Bunny has been looking for. That was an epic gamer moment. Brought to you by Bunny and Bunny Studio. So this is actually interesting here. The point I was gonna make before the drone barbecue happened is I've been seeing a lot of players take their base on the bottom side, giving them like really easy access to these three bases. Very easy to protect, and it kind of throws your opponent off just a little bit. But in a series where his opponent has gone Mutalisk so many times, this wouldn't be that big of an advantage for him. But I thought it was interesting. Keep watching for that. The more and more. I mean, we've got this map probably through what? Probably at least DreamHack Fall, for sure. Probably GSL as well. We'll have to see if we see any more of those weird plays. And of course, now we do see a Spire go down. Oh, this is actually going to be a big drop here. It's going to be one Viking on the top side. One Viking. And this is going to be a big drop. Better defended than I thought. Okay, never mind. I hyped you up for nothing. My apologies. The Vikings just be like, whatever. You didn't want to see me anyways. One thing I haven't commented on was Solar, which is not a surprise, but it just is a thing. Solar's done a very nice job with his creep spread, and especially on this map where there's a lot of ground to cover, he is doing a very nice job of keeping that creep spread moving in all sorts of different directions. Now, this is the kind of play that I think is going to go well for Bunny. These multi-drops on multiple sides of the map. Solar is just going to kind of say, forget that. I'm just going to do my own run-bys. And he's going to run those Zerglings into the third base. Now, all of this does get cleaned up. Those mines are left on the field. 3 workers of Bunny does go down. This would actually be one of those moments where this would be interesting. Oh, those Banelings! Oh, not going to get on top. But there's a big drop here happening in the natural expand. Actually, a pretty decent position here for Bunny. He's got those Marines kind of wiggled in back behind the gas geyser. So he's going to get some very good damage done. And actually, all those Zerglings get cleaned up. Bunny's still putting down some hurt here. Cleaning off a couple of those queens. Forcing out some transfuses. This was actually a very, very good hold here for Bunny. That was a very good use of that location. But that's going to give a Bunny an opportunity to continue to expand here. He's got his 4th base out on site. Look at the difference in this game. Bunny up almost 30 army supply. Bunny is almost even with workers. So when you consider mules into the equation, now all of a sudden you have an opponent that is not going to maintain. And as you can see here, even holding Solar to a mostly even economic advantage is huge for Bunny, especially when your army is this large. And that's enough damage done. Solar not going to try and play it out. GG is called, and Bunny, is he beginning his march to the top here? He needed to win 4 in a row. He's in position. He's got 1 down. Now he just needs 3 more. But at bare minimum now, Solar is not going to be able to take a 5-1 victory. It would have to, it'll at least award Bunny 2 wins, if that ends up being the case. So GG is called. Very well played. And now we're going to see another map here. Ice and Chrome. It's going to be game number 7. It's the last unique map of the pool. After this map, after Ice and Chrome, if Bunny wins, Solar will have free reign to pick whatever maps he wants to do. That's how we roll with our best of 9s here at ITaX. But we're in a good spot here. We'll have to see what can be accomplished. Can Bunny do it? The nice thing about Solar at this point is Solar has free reign over the map picks at this point. Like, everything now is in Solar's control. So ideally, he's in a better position to be able to secure the wins, because he's gonna always be on maps that he wants to be on. I guess except for this one, because it's the only map that's left. Yeah, that one. So let's find out if he can do this. You know what we've been calling Solar at the beginning for so long. Needs 3 more wins to be today's Super Series champion. Can he secure win number 2 in a row? Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ice and Chrome. Playing for KaiZ Gaming. Give it up for Bunny. And spawning in the bottom left. Just needs to scrape 1 more win. He will be today's Super Series champion. Playing for Cosmos Esports. Give it up for Solo. It's easier to tap out 3 games up in the series. No, absolutely. Because if there's no reason for you to tire yourself out when you're fundamentally behind, you just kind of look at the scenario and go, I don't have to win this game. I can play a different game on a map that I prefer. Yeah, no reason to waste your energy there. There is, much like traditional sports, I about said real sports, and I was like, wait a minute, no, this can be considered a real sport. Much like traditional sports, there is a lot of like endurance and metagaming that goes into the planning structure of these larger series. I mean, even think about GSL. Think about how you need to put together like a strategy against your opponent. All right, this is what I want to go for. And then you have the different paths, right? All right, if I beat them, game number 2 or game number 1. Okay, this is where I head. Oh, what if they start pulling out this type of build? Okay, now I need to go into this path. Okay, what if I get into this position and all of a sudden I slide? No, you can let that one go, and we move on to a different path. Much in the same way as like chess. All right, I want to get their queen, but I'm going to have to sacrifice 2 pawns and a knight to get it. But then it puts you so much further ahead of your opponent. There are so many strategical values to the game outside of the game itself sometimes. And that makes it so important. And that's why I love these best of 9s, because you really get a chance to see how players think. You can see a lot of that in action. Like another great example, Bunny going down 2-1 or going down 2-0, excuse me. No, it was 2-1. And then all of a sudden, okay, he pulls out some of the dirty cheese. He pulls out the battlecruiser rush. He pulls out the proxy. You see some of that thought process and work. So now, back against the wall. How do we see our Terran opponent proceed? He's going to try and go back to the well here. Fusion core. The question's going to become whether or not he can actually get this to pay off. Now, I like the fusion core on this map just because there are a lot of dead spaces for the battlecruiser to wiggle in, to wiggle out. There's good potential. The fact of the matter is scouting. And Solar's going to be able to see this before the fusion core is even allowed to complete. So this now gets to be a very kind of difficult stance for Bunny. Solar now knows what he needs to prepare for. He's going to grab that Roach Warren. So he's going to try and double down on the ground because he knows that it's going to be mostly Hellions. And that's it. Queens are going to be in production here. In fact, one more queen going down. What does he have for queens right now? 5? 2 more queens in production. Going to bring him up to 7. It's exactly where he needs to be. I love it. I absolutely love it. Solar is going to be in a great position here. Bunny has to have a trick up his sleeve. And potentially that trick could be Fusion Core here, researching Yamato Cannon. Now that leads me to believe that Bunny is going to go all in on his production of those battle cruisers. I mean, again, back against the wall. Bunny needs to find some way to make this stick. And right now, it's going to be large production of those battle cruisers. The first leap in is going to happen. Oh, the queens are in just perfect position. Oh, that's brutal for Bunny. I don't think Bunny's even going to get a kill off. He might kill this Overlord. Maybe. That's unfortunate. But, I mean, great play by Solar. Even the run by here is largely mitigated, at least up until this moment. Only 2 kills, 3 worker kills is it. That's it. Now, fortunately, the battle cruiser did get out. So he doesn't lose the battle cruiser. He has access to it. It does need to go back and repair. But now there's roaches on the ground. There's not a lot to deal with these roaches. What does he even have for units? He's got 4 Hellions and 1 battle cruiser. That's it. I think even as a Zerg player, like, I forget that sometimes. I forget, like, oh, my opponent's got something in the air. I can't hit it. But that's the only thing he has. And it's interesting to remember that point. Now, we are going to go into mech on the back side of this. There's going to be double armory coming down. The barracks is just going to chill and be a building. Where are we going to head with this? Now, the roaches can't just blindly go on into the 3rd because the battle cruiser will just effectively shut it down. We should have 2. Okay, I was like, where's the 2nd battle cruiser? I found it. Literally next door neighbors. I love the Spire play. Spire play is here. The Corruptors are out. We now will see Bunny start to move into more of a offensive posture here. A 3rd battle cruiser on the way. Once again, not surprising. This is, I mean, it's kind of what you do when you pick up that Yamato cannon. It's such an investment that you really do need the numbers to really justify the cost. Because just a couple is not going to make that big of a difference. Now, they will be rather effective against the Corruptors, but 1 falls. Bunny is losing grip here. He does get that 1 back, but that's a rough situation. Solar expanding, out of control here. He's got his 4th base up. He has a block on the 4th base of Bunny. This base is not advantageous. Those Corruptors gonna dive on in, take a peek and see what's here, and Solar's liking what he sees. What does he have on the ground? He's just gonna go, I think, is it gonna be Ravagerling Bane? It looks like it's gonna be mostly just Roach Ravagerling. I don't think, do we even have a Baneling nest? No, just Roach Ravagerling. But this is the difficult part here for Bunny. I mean, he's gonna have to wait for that creep. It's a small wait, but it's a wait nonetheless, which means he's not gonna be able to get a siege point on this location. So that is gonna go down. The tanks are in protecting the natural and the 3rd, but right now, Solar's able to just park here. He's not going to relent from the spot, and he knows that his opponent has to do something about this. But look at this. He's gonna corruption down the armories. Both armories are gonna Oh, I'm actually disappointed. I thought both armories were going to fall, but instead he is going to get one of them. So the weapons up, or the armor upgrade does go down, but weapons will be allowed to continue. 16 Mutalisk, a very, very quick pivot here. He's expecting his opponent to go tanks. We know that he is still committing into that battle mech. So it is a bit of a risky play, but those mutas will still have a lot of value, as there is a decent amount of tanks here at the third base location. So that will help overall. And honestly, Solar can afford it. I don't think even if he shows up with those mutas and they don't get the value that they're looking for, I still think that he will get damage done regardless. Immediately picking off those tanks. He can even jump on top of the Cyclones. One of the battle cruisers goes down. Both of the battle cruisers go down. This is all shut down on the left side of the map, and I think that we are on the verge of watching Solar clean this up. The rest of the ground force is going to swing on to the third base location. We have Corruptors puking. This base is more than likely, okay, not going to go down. Doesn't want to overcommit to it. Not really anything that's going to fight it at this point, but you know, I think Solar's just going to rotate. There's nothing here for Bunny. Bunny doesn't have near enough. He's going to lose that tank. One tank remains. It's going to push that off for just a brief amount of time. These mutas still have gone rather unchecked. Now one Thor is going to hit the field, and that will shove this back for now. There are mines. And that's going to get added into the mix, but back behind this, it's a greater spire. We see pathogen glands coming as well. Baneling speed. Banelings in general. This is going into Ravagerling Bane on the ground with Mutacorruptor in the sky. It's such a good composition against the position that Bunny is in, because it forces Bunny to have so many different answers to so many different kinds of units. Can he get on top of Drilling Claws? Unbelievable. He's going to stop that. That is going to be denied. Those mines are not going to be as quick. And it's just bad to worse for Bunny. What does Bunny have at this point? Bunny's Thor count is starting to rise. That is going to be very good against the air, as long as he can stay on top of it. But right now, Solar is just everywhere on the map. He's making it very difficult to try and deflect all of this damage. Now, this is not going to go very well for Solar. Solar, I think, is going to have to respect the fact that Bunny has sieged up, and is going to have to reposition. More than likely, it's going to have to be this base. I mean, that's where he needs to go. Otherwise, he does need to try and charge into the third. I think this could be a good attack point. Those tanks aren't in a great position, and I think Bunny realizes that. Look at this creep spread. Can we talk about that for a moment? Like, he is out in front of Bunny's third. He is pushing a potential fifth, and he's all the way over on this side as well. This is outstanding. Solar's Mewtwo's getting demoed? Yeah, so more than likely he did lose all of those in here. There was a Thor that was picking away at him. But in this case, Solar's okay losing that. He's trying to make up space for these Broodlords. He's got Infestors on the way as well, so the Mutas more than accomplished their goal. Oh, yeah, baby. Clean up. Clean up these Hellions. Once the Hellions are gone, those Broodlords are going to get so much done. How many Broodlords are there? 13. 13 Broodlords about to flex all over Bunny's army. Actually, I get what Solar's doing, but I don't think that's even the right call. I feel like moving the Broodlords just north, just move them to the north, because this is what he needs to be afraid of now. 5 Vikings in production at once. Why build a reactor, folks? when you can just build 5 starports, am I right? All right. So now we've reached the point of every Terran mech position. It's the, I have 1 billion minerals and no way to spend them, so I'm just going to build a bunch of buildings and land them places. 11 workers just went down? And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out where. Oh, it must have been here at the 3rd base, because that is missing some workers as well. Thank you, everyone, for all the follows. So very excited to see such a good turnout for this event. Really do appreciate it a lot. All right, so we have liberators coming as well. Again, don't need those reactors. Let's just use a bunch of buildings. Makes it easy. Makes it easy, makes it peasy, makes it lemon squeezy. This is also the part of the game where my frame rate starts to slow down because we just have so much on the map. There's so many units. There's so many things to look at. So if you're noticing like, this isn't the crisp 120 frames per second I've come to expect from my $4,000 computer, well, you are absolutely correct. Thank you for understanding. Okay, so this is actually very well spread out here. Bunny is going to try and move on different fronts, and he actually has the better bank at this point. So any economic damage that he can get done over his opponent is very, very good at this point. Solar in a good position, but not out of it just yet. More Thors on the way. Neo Steel frame incoming as well. So all of the buildings are going to get much stronger. All of these planetaries are going to be much stronger. Now there are a great number of investors here, and they are going to grab some of these units here of a Bunny. Ooh, creep queens are actually going to get cleaned up in their entirety over on this side. That is a bit of a rough. That's a bit of a rough play. The creep spread is really what is kind of securing this deal for Solar as it sits right now. So he does not want to lose that much off of the top here. Now, it does free up more supply, so there are more corruptors on the way. But right now, we are going to see a tech switch by Bunny that will start to look very, very scary. I mean, he is going into lots and lots of battle cruisers. And this is kind of what I was afraid of. This is now why all of those starports were made for this type of transition. So if Solar is going to have a good opportunity to strike, it's right now. He's got to get on top of it before his opponent can get all those battle cruisers in place. And the battle cruisers are on the field. He just needs to kill as much as he possibly can to mitigate some of this damage here and get a good position. But now here we go. Vipers are going to start pulling these units one by one. Now the jumps are going to happen, so that does eliminate a little bit of the positioning here. But Solar's going to get on top of all of these Thors. The Thors start getting used as a part of the army. They're not just going to attack it themselves. They're going to go after that planetary fortress, and that planetary fortress is going to get dangerously low. It is, in fact, going to fall, and with it, that is going to be a big chunk of mining gone for Bunny. But look at Solar. He's still maxed out. He's killed 9 workers. He's stolen so many high-value targets of Bunny. Bunny's not going to be able to remax as fast as his opponent possibly can. And at this point, this is now, I think, the killing blow. Bunny sitting all the way down at 130 supply. More of these depots are going to be taken down, and we are seeing the slow, inevitable fall of our red Terran from KaiZ Gaming. But what a game. What a fight he has put up. Some very, very well played games here. Solar's going to get on top of all of the production here. These Hellions, these Thors have nowhere to go. One last scan to confirm that this is in fact a bad position for him to play from. But he's going to try and work it out as long as possible. These Thors getting backed up into a corner further and further. The Infestors are getting in. And now that they start knurling, that is going to make things a lot more difficult for our Red Terran. GG is called. And Solar, with a 5-2 victory, has become today's Super Series champion. Well played by both of our players. These were some outstanding matches, some really well-fought games. And it goes to Solar this time around. 5-2 is the final score. Well played. Folks, outstanding stuff by both of our players. We could not do this today without our sponsorship with Bunny Studio. Bunny Studio providing high-quality opportunities for you and your next creative projects. Raise your bar. Team up with the fastest and most reliable creative services partner you'll ever find on the internet. Submit your project and you'll get a quick and high-quality project delivered within hours. Visit bunnystudio.com or check out !Bunny in the chat for more information about what Bunny Studio can provide to you. Now, folks, this was an outstanding series, but don't go anywhere. We have another treat for you. In our next series coming up here. It is going to be replay cast of Estrella versus Elazer. I've heard amazing things about this series. This series was very well received, and I'm sure that today it will get the same treatment as well. So, folks, we are going to take a quick break. I need a chance to use the restroom. I need a chance to get myself set up for the next step. But this is going to be a good series here. It's going to be a ZvP, Estrella versus Elazer. Two foreigners duking it out, proving that they are strong members in StarCraft 2 scene. So we'll go ahead and run. We're going to run a break for sure. We might run an ad as well. Just gonna check and be certain here as we get into position here. So thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. Do check that Matcherino, !Matcherino in the chat. Use that code ITaX137. In fact, I'm gonna do it right now. Here we go. I'm starting right this second. I want to show you just how fast it is to do this. Actually, I need to sign in. Sign in to contribute. We're going to load into Twitch. Contribute. !Axcom137. It pops up. Bang. Done. Easy peasy. Wonderful stuff. Alrighty. Folks, we're going to toss it over to a break. And when we return, we're going to be back with more StarCraft 2 action. It's going to be Estrella versus Elazer. You guys are watching the Super Series 12. Right here on twitch.tv/alphaxsc2. My name is Rushy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.